Hello.
Hi,
Who's there?
this is Shanta.
Oh, hey, Shanta. It's Gus. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good. I'm good. So you're joining for the compliance offers and commissions.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. Have you done any compliance offers or commissions at all, or is this all brand new to you?
This is new to me. I wrote an offer, but it didn't get accepted. It was a multiple offer situation.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I don't know what else happens after that. Um, that's how far I came in command.
Okay. That's all right. Well, this, to be honest with you, is probably one of the easiest portions of command.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good to hear.
yeah. It really is. It really is quite simple, and they keep making it more and more simple um, as time goes on. So
Okay.
it really is very easy and very straightforward. So we'll run through it. We'll give it another minute or so and see if anybody else joins us. I have a feeling we probably won't get too many people because the first day of Bold started a half an hour ago. So it may, oh, I say that and then Ellen jumped on. So good. Hi, Ellen.
Hi, Gus.
How are you?
I'm fine. Can you hear me?
I can. Yep.
Oh, good. Okay.
Can you guys see my screen?
I can see you.
You can see me? Okay. I just can't see you guys, so I wanted to make sure you were able to see my screen. So, or see me.
Yes, we can see you.
Perfect. All right. What time is it? All right, it's 2:32. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in and do a screen share. And
Okay,
you stand up here. This is going to be easier for me.
let me get
Um,
the headphones.
we'll do a screen share, and then I will run you quickly through the compliance, creating an offer, and doing a commission tab. It's like I was just saying to Shanta, this is probably one of the easiest things to do in Command. So, and if at any point either of you have any questions or need me to slow down, just say so. And if anybody else jumps in, we'll go from there. So at this point, I'm going to do a screen share. I think I might have some test rooms open. I hope I do. If not, I'll try to pull one back. All right. I deleted a lot of them. And if not, I will create an opportunity. Sorry, I should have probably had something pulled up here. I was trying to watch the first bit of Bold before I jumped over. Okay, let's see. Let's see if any of these active buyers or any of my test buyers I still have left. They are not, but you know what? I might be able to. For purposes of this, I will actually use one of my regular buyers for this. This will be fine.
Okay.
This will be fine. Okay, so this is a buy side, but it doesn't really matter. To work in your compliance and in your offers and in your commissions, you're going to see on the screen here, you have your documents tab, your offers tab, and your commissions tab. These are the 3 tabs that we're going to work in today. You're going to notice right now that the commissions tab is grayed out. It's not working. The offers tab is live and the documents tab is live. So we'll start with compliance, which you access through the documents tab. So we click on that. The documents tab takes us into the area where compliance is located, and it's also the area where you would access both DocuSign and .loop. So just so you're aware of that. I don't know how much you guys have worked in DocuSign at this point. If you have, then you know that this is where you would go to start a new DocuSign transaction or to access DocuSign. But it's also where you go in order to do your compliance. So for both buy side, sell side, and for any rentals, here would be your compliance. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you have the different areas, and I don't know which office you guys are in, but I'm going to imagine that it's probably going to be set up very similar to my office in Westchester. So we have, in the buy side, we have 3 different phases for compliance. We have the consultation phase, which is this top tab here on the left-hand side. And within consultation, what my office requires as part of our compliance is a consumer notice and the buyer agency contract. So those files have to be added.
Okay.
To go up. And you have, within that area, you would add those files and then they'd be sent off to the MCA for approval. You can also, within compliance, you can add an additional item. You can add a comment, to be sent to your MCA. So you can always walk down the hall and say something, but if it's something odd, unique, different about that specific transaction and you wanted to make sure that it went with compliance, because we all know our MCAs are very busy and they have a lot on their plate. So I would add a comment here and say, for instance, the consumer notice and the buyer agency contract, it was an older couple. I did everything by hand and I scanned it in and I didn't split them. So I put them all under one tab. I might just put it in the note here and say, hey, Corinna, both the consumer notice and the buyer agency contract are in the same file, just so she knew. You can also add multiple files under the same tab. So I'm going to show you quickly how to do this. This
Hey,
particular,
Gus.
yep.
Excuse me for a minute. It's Ellen. I actually am encountering this right now and I haven't for a long time, had clients that, like, she doesn't even have a computer.
Okay.
So you had them sign paper copy, scanned it in. You scanned them in as one document?
You can scan it all in as one document.
But where are they though?
Where are the documents?
Yeah, right now. Like, oh.
Well, so I can.
Are these the people, or are you just using that as an example?
I'm using it as an example, but I can show you from the compliance standpoint, because the way this system is set up, you're going to see. I'm going to show you right now where I go and get these documents from and how we do it.
Okay.
The system is set up. So I want to add the consumer notice here on the buying side. The system is set up so I'll click add a file here on the right-hand side next to consumer notice. And because the system knows that it's linked to a specific DocuSign room for these clients, it will only ever attach to that DocuSign room. So that's a really cool feature. So the first thing I'm going to do is click add a file. And I'm going to have 3 choices to add a file. Manual, which would then allow me to drag and drop or browse my files. So I could search the computer. And that's the same way you do a normal computer search. And I can show you that right now. So I would just click browse. And then I just search my computer the same way you would normally search your computer. This is a Google Chromebook, so this might look very different to you. But if you clicked browse, your normal file search would appear here, okay? So that would be option 1. Option 2 would be DocuSign. So if I click DocuSign right now, which I'm going to do, it's going to take me right into the room that is linked with this opportunity. The only files you're seeing are the files linked to this specific opportunity. It's not going to search all of my opportunities. And you can search by file name here. And so when I'm teaching people about DocuSign and their files in DocuSign, I encourage them as files come in to name them something specific so that you always have the same name. And then as your DocuSign room grows, to start to sort them by folders, because as you can see here, they're not sorted. They're just all in there in a alphabetical order. But here on the right-hand side under Select Folder, you're also going to see the root folder, which is the main folder in DocuSign. But then I also go one step further and I start putting additional folders in. So I have my exclusive buyer agency contract documents, my offer one documents, my backup offer, and so on and so forth as I go throughout the file. So for me, I know that the consumer notice and the buyer agency contract are in the eBack docs, because that's how I do it. So I click that, and you can see it's immediately sorted it down. So there's my consumer notice, and it was executed. So I'll click that, hit assign, and it's brought it in. So now you see it over here. It's highlighted. It's assigned it. This box is now here, and I can either remove it or print it. I'm not going to do that. But you'll also notice up here, the Submit to MC is now turned green. So this is where you're now going to send it to Corinna once you're done with your compliance. The other thing that's appeared is the open next to consultation. That means that this is an open compliance. It hasn't been sent to Corinna yet, my MC. The next thing I want to do is my buyer agency contract. So I'm going to click Add a File. I'll go back to DocuSign again. Select the folder. I know where my files are, so I'm going to go back to the eBack folder again. I'm going to go down, and I'm going to search for the Colasanti eBack executed, because that's how I've named it. I'm going to click Assign. It's loaded it. You can also, at this point, if you want to make sure you have the right file, you're not 100% certain, you can actually click on the file. It will open it on the screen, and you can see it in compliance. So you make sure that you do have the right file. And I can check, see there it is, it's signed. And you get a couple more options up here. You could print, you could download. So that's done. So I'm done now. You see the checkbox here. I've got the 2 of 2 documents uploaded for the consultation phase. I'm going to click Submit to MC. Okay? So we'll click Submit. That's gone to Corinna, and now you see this has changed from open to submitted. So that's the consultation phase. You need to talk with your office about what your policy procedures are for submitting your documents. Ours are within 72 hours of signing your contracts, signing your offers, and then within being closed, within settling on documents. So that's the consultation phase. If I went to the under contract phase, so once we put a property under contract, you're going to see here's a whole new list of documents that I need to add, what's required and what's conditionally required or optional. And then the closed file is the last one, and it's just the marked up title and executed also. That's what's required in our office. You also have the Add New Custom folder here. You could build out your own custom folders for stuff that might be very specific to your type of transaction or your business. If you had something really odd and unique going on with your file, you could build those out here, and you would actually have the option once you started putting documents in these folders of finding them over here in the Add a File. That would have been your third option. So that's the compliance portion, and you just work your way through that. It's actually quite easy to do. Does anybody have any questions on the compliance portion?
No.
Okay, so that's compliance. So the next step is offers. And for the offers phase, you can't do anything with commissions until you have an offer and it's quote unquote accepted in our system, in the command system. So once you have a contract, you're under contract, what you want to do is go to offers. You can also use this for a second feature, which we will talk about. We won't go into too much detail, but I will talk about it a little bit. So the offers button, what this will be used for probably 95 to 99% of the time is making your commissions tab go live, feeding some information in and making your commissions tab go live. The very first thing you'll do once you click on the offers tab is click add a new offer. And what would you like to call it? I generally just leave it as initial offer because there's only one offer. The only thing that might change this is, and it was happening until COVID-19 started, it was happening to us more than it had been in years past, was the multiple offer scenario. And that's where this offers tab is really awesome. So if you had multiple offers, you would name them, those offers based on different buyers, whatever, however you would name them. So you could name them, and literally once you've created multiple offers, you would compare them side by side. And it has a very, a really neat comparison program that you can then send to your clients to review. But for now, we're just going to do the initial offer. We're going to hit create. So now you have to go through the details. You put in the offer date, the close date. You could select the property from KWLS. I do have to come up with a property here, so I'm going to type in an address. All right. And then you go to the parties. There is a certain amount of information you have to put in. I'm just going to put in, just for the purposes of this, anywhere that there's the red asterisk, you have to include at least that much. Okay. Then you go to your terms. All right. So the terms here, you have to put in, this is the part that is a little bit finicky about the system, and it'll take a little bit of getting used to, but you do have to put in your cash and finance terms to come up with your sale price. You can't just enter a sales price. I'm hoping that they will change that at some point for the time when you only have one offer, but at this point they don't let you. So if it's a $400,000 property, you could put in 50,000 and 350, but you sort of have to do the math in your head because it won't auto-populate for you. So you're going to have to know. And then your earnest amount, you could say the option fee. I don't even know what that is. The rest of this, I never fill the rest of this out unless you're in a multiple offer scenario, and that's where you'd fill it out as much as possible so you can compare the multiple offers. This is the part that is a tiny bit cumbersome just to get the commission tab to go live. And I've sent information. I know other people that have used this a fair bit have sent up requests to KW International to figure out a way to make this a little bit quicker and easier to use. The last part, or the next part, is agent analysis. This is where you'd actually write out your pros and cons in a summary, because you can email this or send a URL off to your clients to review. But I think all of us would probably just call them and talk to them about it. Click save. I don't even put anything in there. I click save. At this point, here's your offer timeline. So here's your offer in front of you. You can either accept or reject your offer, or you can add a negotiation, edit the offer, add analysis. You can send it to your client, or you can remove the offer completely. Okay, so you can see at this point still you have one offer up here. If you had multiple offers, it would show 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. You still haven't accepted. At this point, we would accept the offer. Once we've accepted the offer, the commissions tab is now live. So now we're live. My clients, the Colasantes, have accepted that. So our next step is to go and fill out our commissions tab, and this is what replaces green sheets. So before I take that step, I'm going to ask you guys, do you have any questions about the offers tab? Everybody's good?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So we're going to jump on over to commissions. So commissions here. Oh, and you know what I did do is I didn't put a contract date in. That if you don't have everything filled out in, because this is not a real offer, it's probably not going to let me go all the way through.
Right.
It's going to
Now,
tell me.
is this creating an agreement, or did you already create an agreement?
Well, see, I don't have an agreement because these people didn't have an offer accepted. So I would have had to have a contract date. I didn't have a contract date accepted by my people. Their offer was not accepted, which is why this offer, there wasn't actually an offer in their system.
Okay.
Had I had an offer, there would have been a contract date in their details, and that contract date would already be here. So it's telling me I can't submit the commission because I don't have a contract date. See, it's blank
Okay.
here. So
Yeah.
I can just add it here, and I could say, all right, May 29th. We'll just say May 29th. Now it's letting me get that far. All right. So sales price is 400,000, commission's 2.5%. Yep, that's right. That's the total commission. Okay. Here's my agent breakdown right here. Total commission is $10,000. This is the really cool thing about this system. Before with green sheets, I don't know if you guys did your own green sheets or you had an admin do it for you, somebody who helped you out. But we never really knew where were we with our royalty, where were we with our fee for the year, our cap for the year. This tells us, and it tells us right now where we are. So you can see it's already got my royalty worked out, and it's already got, I haven't capped yet, I haven't reset on my cap yet for the year, so I'm at 100% right now. So it's going to go through and tell you. If you're part of a team, you will have your unit here. You'll be able to split the unit among team members based on whatever you've worked out with your Rainmaker. So you can change that. But I have the total commission being paid to me right now because I'm not on a team and I'm not sharing with anybody. So I'm going to go down. Here's my royalty. Here's my rate on the royalty. Here's my split. Here's my company commission. Yep, it all looks right. We're going down. Here's the E&O. You can add KW Cares. You can add KW Kids Can. You can add a Bold Scholarship. So it's going to tell you what your check amount is. Then you can add an item at this point. So from here, you can choose the type of item. So are you going to have a bonus? Are you going to have a concession? Are you going to have a deduction? So you can do that. Okay? So I have a deduction. I use BizRoots. So I would put in my $395. And you do have to be prepared for this because it does require a tax ID, an EIN number. Oh, it doesn't look like they've taken that out now. They used to actually require the whole number, a description, who it's paid to, the address for that company, and a minimum of a phone number for that company. And then you would click add. It's not going to let me get past this without putting those in. And to be honest with you, I don't know what they are because BizRoots, my person that I use, Denise, she fills all this out for me, so she knows all of her information. So I'm going to cancel that. But you would add the item. If you had a bonus, you'd add your bonus here. If you had a concession, you'd add your concession. So that would happen here. Once you're done, you're ready to submit. See, I have no red error at the top of the screen. So I could submit this at this point. Now, let's say you were paying, you were doing a co-listing or you were going to pay a referral. This is where you would do it here, is at the add co-broker payment. So here, you could do the commission split, or you could do the amount here. And again, you'd go through the same thing. And that's how you would add it. And you just have to split your split your information there. Once you're done, you'd hit submit, or if you had a note to add something, again, something weird, you'd add your note here. This all goes to your MCA. You put it in right here, and this click add. So I'd say, Corinna, don't forget BizRoots, please. Okay, and then add. And the note's added. And it'll pop up right down here, or whatever your note is.
Mm-hmm.
And then click submit. Obviously, I'm not going to hit submit because this is it's a fake transaction. But that's how you would do your commissions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if something changes in the offer, then you have to talk to your MCA at this point because you can't change this file here. But that's the same as it was with green sheets.
Okay.
So the one thing that I like to do as a best practice, and we actually just had a conversation about this on our ALC call earlier today for Westchester, but I know it's been an issue a little bit with all three of our sister offices since we've gone to the commissions tab. Best practices that we're requesting in Westchester is that the offers and commissions tab is done within 72 hours of a contract being signed. The reason for that is that our offices are running on, they're doing their monthly budgets and monthly projections. And they've always struggled a little bit with doing that because of the timeliness of getting the green sheets in. Now that we're switching over to commissions, it's become even more difficult because people are struggling to do the commissions. They're putting it off until the very last minute. So they have asked, as we are teaching these classes, to ask agents to try to get them done within 72 hours, just so that they can start doing projections for the next month. So they have a better idea of what income is coming in for the office. So that was a request that I was asked to pass along to agents as I teach this. So I'm kindly passing it along to you.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Gus.
Do you guys have any questions about the commission side?
No, I don't.
It really is easy. These are the three easiest things to do, I think, and have changed the least.
But you know something, Gus? Here's my problem always. I always forget. How did you get here?
How did I get to commissions?
How did you get to this screen right here?
Okay, so this is easy. This comes from opportunity. So I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to go right to the home screen.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you guys a really super easy trick. If you're struggling with knowing where things are and what things do.
And I have a big problem in knowing where things are.
Well, here's a super cheat until you get real comfortable. See the red KW box?
Yes.
Click on that. It opens up and it tells you what they are. So it gives you the name. So that's the first thing. If you just click on that box, it opens it up. If you click on it again, it goes away. So click on it. Yep. Click on it. It opens it up and you go down to opportunities. So you click on opportunity. The opportunities are spinning.
Mm-hmm.
And the system's a little bit slow because we're on Tuesdays that tend to be a tiny bit slow. This is the default screen. Another screen that some people find a little bit easier is you have Gus Brown and then it's listing, buyers, and then you scroll down and you see leases. If you're naming your opportunities in a logical way, instead of staying on this default screen, click all opportunities.
Where was that?
So from the opportunities tab here, from the main opportunities tab, this is the screen you would come to. Okay. All opportunities right here.
Where are you? I can't see where you are. I can't see where you were to click all, sorry.
Oh, no problem. So I'm going to go back to the very main screen. Home. I'm going to go
Shanta, am I driving you crazy? And she must be muted.
Yeah. I can't see anybody else's screen, so I don't know if she's muted or not. All right, so I'm on the home screen right now.
Yeah.
So from the home screen, I'm going to go down to opportunities.
Okay.
Now I'm in the opportunities section. This
Mhm.
is how you would normally default, is to opportunities.
Oh, there's all up there.
Yeah, so an easier way, I think, for some people to find their opportunities, this is your default page, but if in the beginning, as you are getting comfortable with the system, click all opportunities.
Yeah,
And-
I didn't see that when you first hit it. That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, and see, now you see the names, and I think seeing the names like this
Yeah.
might make it a little bit easier. You can also, you can click and jump between phases. I've got a lot of opportunities, so I don't come here because they start to disappear on me. I prefer to be in the other screen, but by the time you get this many opportunities in your system, you're going to be really comfortable and you're not going to have to search that way. But regardless, once you're there, okay, let me find them. I'm going to jump back to the other screen because I'll find them quicker the other way. Sorry. So once I'm there, now I'm in that specific client's page. As soon as I click on the client, this is always the default main page for any opportunity. Once you go into it, you have details, buyer profile, documents, offers, commissions, notes, and timeline. The 3 tabs we worked on today were documents, offers, and commissions. So the first thing we did was we clicked on documents. And documents, by default, always goes to the compliance home screen.
Yeah, hold on a second. Hey, Shanta, it shows that you're muted. Do you know how to unmute it?
Hold on, let me see if I can.
So she's saying that her microphone's not working, but it
Hold on,
shows
let me-
that she's muted.
Yeah, it's on my side. It looks like it is unmuted.
Okay.
Is she sending us a message?
Yeah, she sent a message that said her microphone wasn't working.
Yeah, because it says that it's on my side.
Right.
Let me move this screen over here. Okay, well, I have the chat box open now, Shanta. So if you're talking, I'll be able to. If you need to send a message, I can see the chat box now. So, okay, so the document section, that takes you right to compliance. Once you're done with your compliance, always in the second compliance phase, consultation is first. So when you've either signed new buyers or you signed a listing, this would be the first phase. Second phase would be under contract.
Okay.
When you've done under contract, it's at this point where they're asking for you to do your offer, which is here, this tab. So you click the add a new offer and walk through that, and then you would accept the offer. We've already accepted this offer, but there would be an accept or reject button here once you filled out your offer.
And I think I already asked you this, but by the time you get here, you already have an agreement of sale accepted.
Correct.
Right.
You have the physical agreement of sale accepted. You just have to accept an offer in the system in order to get the commissions tab to go live. Accepting an offer is a bad way to phrase it, I think, because you.
Yeah, it is, because I'm thinking, when you're saying accepting, I'm thinking that buyer and seller have an agreement and
You've already, for practical
it's already
purposes,
happened.
it's already happened. You have to quote unquote accept an offer in the command system to get the commissions tab to go live. All you have to do is fill out the information and click the accept button for the offer that has already been accepted by the parties.
Okay.
So you do that in this tab, the offers tab. And then you go to commissions. And you fill out your commission information and click submit. And everyone that I've worked with in the commissions tab has said that this is far easier than
A green sheet.
a green sheet. Yep.
Shanta had a question. Where did it go?
What happens after we complete the commission information and my client backs out of the contract due to inspection issues?
Ah,
At that point, Shanta, all you would do is talk to your MCA. I mean, it's the same as a green sheet in that case. Nothing really. You would have to put documents in to the system terminating. That's it. The steps would be the same. So nothing would change because the system. So let me go back to the commissions tab here.
so we have to mentally separate this system from the actual whatever's really going on in buying and selling the property.
Right. So what happens after we complete the commission information? So in theory, what you would do is you go back to your offer. And to be honest with you, I haven't had this happen yet, so I don't know how. I can tell you for practical purpose, Shanta, change the response. So let's do this. Change the response. Are you sure? Yes. So accept or reject. I could accept it or reject it. That you could do. Or I could remove the offer. I guess in this case, we would remove the offer because the deal fell through. So let's just see what happens. I haven't actually done this, and since this is just a test, we're going to remove the offer. So are you sure you want to remove this offer? We'll also remove all related negotiations. Yes. All right, so the offer has been removed. Look, the commissions tab is gone. So all that information will disappear.
There are no offers for this deal.
Yep. So the information's gone. I can tell you from a standpoint of your commissions tab, your commissions information, like my cap and my royalty, that never changes in the system until it closes. And I have watched it in real time when I've had one commission tab functioning and then I've had another deal process. That cap and royalty, I've seen it change in the commissions tab in another deal because deal A has settled and deal B has not, and I've gone back into deal B's commission tab and I've seen the commission and royalty tab adjust accordingly.
Oh, okay.
So the system is adjusting. Now that commissions tab is closed, so it's no longer there. So hopefully that answers. I think we just answered the question. You answered it for us, Shanta.
Okay.
So that's, again, it really is pretty simple. Are there any other questions? Oh, we got somebody else. Who else joined in here?
Lisa.
Oh, Lisa. There we go. Yeah, are there any other questions?
Nope.
Oh, did I miss it?
Oh, you did, but I tell you, it's super easy. We can run through it if you want.
No.
It's one of the easiest things. So, Lisa, this would be a good question for you.
Wait a minute.
No. Because this came up today I was just saying to Ellen and Shanta, this came up today in our Westchester ALC meeting.
Okay.
Regarding commissions, and it had more to do with office function
Okay.
than anything, is at what point in the transaction would you like to see, would the office like to see the commissions, and specifically the commissions, being submitted into the system? Westchester office policy was within 72 hours of a contract being executed, we wanted the offer and the commission to go into the system for our monthly budget reasons,
Right.
so that we could do what we have to do as an office. But I didn't know what to say to the other offices, but I thought that was good best practice.
Yeah, we typically all have the same best practices, meaning 72 hours listing contract, 72 hours, commission form, offer filled out,
Okay.
and the commission that starts. So it would be the same.
Very good.
Westchester just has a very, you're ahead of the game because your curve was slow.
I don't know that that's necessarily true. We have gotten a little bit behind the curve. I think everybody's gotten a little bit behind the curve with the commissions tab. The offers and commissions tab has sort of put people backwards. But as I was saying, offers and commissions are probably one of the easiest features of Command.
Right.
Learn.
And it's the last feature we're rolling out through the Command opportunity. So we had some difficulty in the beginning with forms. And we don't use the forms. So it was forms. And then we started opportunities and adding the forms. And then we're going to open up offers and commissions.
Okay. Offers and commissions are super easy, and actually compliance, one thing I was saying, compliance is equally as easy, and they've actually made it easier recently. And I could share this with you. You might already know this, but I'll share, if you don't, it's something I can share, because it's a newer feature that's only popped up maybe in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe not even that long. So if you can see this in the because I already did the other ones, in the under contract phase. So if I'm going to add a document into compliance,
right,
I would go to the add a file,
mm-hmm.
and you can add it manually from your computer. So you could just take it anywhere off your computer. You can bring it from DocuSign, and this is the feature that has appeared more recently. So if I click DocuSign, it brings up the associated DocuSign room. Previously, it did not sort the documents in the room. They were just all in there in a jumbled bunch. So this is the root folder here. Now you have the ability to search for files based on how they are named or how you have named them. But it also now, if you have added folders to your DocuSign room,
right,
they appear here. And so if I click on the folder, it breaks it down to just the documents in that folder.
Right.
So it makes sorting that much easier for compliance.
When does the sync transaction come into play?
You know, I don't know. I need to learn a little bit more. I need to learn a little bit more about sync, because the couple of times that I have done it, it's caused me more problems. So I don't even.
Okay. I didn't know if I was missing something, or that's fine. I don't need to know about, I mean, I'm good without it, but I didn't know if I was missing something about sync transaction.
I need to look more into it, because I've messed with it a couple of times and it's caused me more problems than it's caused me help. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the original purpose was of that. I think it had something to do with .loop and bringing over existing rooms, existing loops in .loop, but I don't know, because that's when I have tried to use it in the past. So.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. How's your daughter doing, Gus?
Good. Yep, really good. Yep, really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm good.
All right, great. Anybody else have any questions?
No.
Yeah, you good? Okay, Shanta, I think you're good. I see a no on Shanta's chat. Shanta's lost her microphone or something's happened.
Okay.
I think she's good. All right, well, if there's any questions, if there's no more questions, then we'll end. And if anybody has anything that pops up after this, you can always reach out to me and I'm happy to help.
Thanks, Gus.
All right, guys, have a great one.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.